What's up, my fellow Lightskins, other people too? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about things that people say that don't make sense. Because you know how there are phrases out there that we hear and we've heard our entire life and we know what they mean. But when you actually sit down and think about it, it makes no sense. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's go.
It was one of the worst performances I've seen in my life.
This first phrase, though, I think is one that everyone can agree. It's just dumb. And it's you can't have your cake and eat it too. It genuinely makes no sense. Who gets cake to not eat it? Imagine pulling up to a birthday party and being like, hey, I got your cake. Oh man, thank you. I cannot wait to dig into this. Oh, you were planning to eat this? Yeah, no, that was the plan. I mean, there's no reason to just let it sit here. It's a cake, not a Funko Pop. Yeah, but you said you wanted a cake for your birthday. You didn't tell me you wanted to have a cake and eat it too. I mean, come on, bro. Now you're just getting greedy. No, I don't think that's greedy. I think that's pretty normal. You see what I mean? It's that makes no sense. And I think what they're trying to say, a beggars can't be choosers type of thing. You can get what you want, but it can't be exactly what you want. But it's why would you use cake as a descriptor for that? Cake is notoriously eaten. Next one up is I slept like a baby. And look, this one is one that on the surface sounds right? You think about it, babies, they sleep 18 hours a day. Obviously, if you slept like a baby, that means you slept immaculately. But then I ask you this. Any person you know who's newly become a parent, what's the first thing that they tell you is a bad thing about parenting? They come up to you, they say, bro, I'm so tired right now. The baby was up at 3 a.m. last night and would not go back to sleep. I know you've heard that. I know you have heard a new parent say that. And look, I am one of 8. I have 7 younger siblings. I've been through this baby thing many, many times. And luckily, none of them are my kids, so I don't have to actually, get up and deal with them. But I've heard the crying in the middle of the night. Babies do not sleep. If they sleep 18 hours, it's the most inconvenient 18 hours possible. That 6 hours that they're awake is from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. It is the worst time possible. So sleeping like a baby it really doesn't make sense. And the next saying is don't cry over spilled milk. And basically what they're trying to say here is don't get emotional over insignificant things. Obviously, if you spill milk, you can go to the store and get another $3 gallon or whatever. But here's my thought, okay? I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't really care about drinking milk. But if I spill milk on the wood floor, or even worse, the carpet, man, there's nothing you can do at that point. You can scrub and scrub and scrub, but the stink is gonna build up over a 2-week time period, and boom, after 2 weeks, your living room smells like it went through biochemical warfare. Genuinely. When you spill milk in the carpet, the only thing you can do is go to the priest and try to get him to exorcise the milk out of the floor. He's got to anoint it with holy water and he's got to pray over it because it never goes away. And so yeah, I'm gonna cry over spilled milk because that sucks. I gotta move houses now over that. I will also say sometimes when I hear this phrase, I think about Julius from Everybody Hates Chris, and I just imagine trying to tell him that. Imagine he spills milk on the floor, one of the kids spills milk on the floor. Oh, it's okay, Julius, don't cry over spilled milk. And he's like, you know how much milk that was? That was $2.32 worth of milk. You think I worked 2 jobs so the floor can drink our milk? Nah, kids, get down and lick it up now. Next up is the saying, you have to lay in the bed you made. And this is a phrase that they're basically trying to say, when your actions have consequences. When you do something wrong, you have to deal with the consequences that come along with it. But who makes their bed and then lays in it? Isn't the whole point of making your bed, it's after you get out of bed, then you make your bed, and then you'll, mess it up and get back into it later the night? Maybe it's just maybe they are saying that, you make the bed in the morning and then you have to lay in it at night. But even then, do you have to? If you're working in a hotel and you're one of the cleaning ladies, you're making hundreds of beds and you're not sleeping in any of them. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a misunderstanding on my part and I'm they're saying something that makes sense and I just don't get it. But I understand what they're trying to say, but it just doesn't really make sense. Next up is one that I really, really don't get. And it's when people are the proof is in the pudding. Something happens and it proves a point or whatever. And they're oh, the proof's in the pudding. And I'm what? I imagine going up to a police station and just being like, I just witnessed a murder with my own 2 eyes.
All right, sir, but I'm gonna need a little bit more. I mean, do you have any details or evidence? Sir, what are you doing? What do you want me to do with that?
It's pudding.
All right, get down on the ground and put your hands behind your head.
What? And then lastly, I have 3 animal-related ones that maybe could make sense, and so that's why I put them at the end here, just in case they do make sense and I'm just dumb. First off is, they had me working like a dog. People say this, they're like, when they're really working super hard, then they're like, I was working like a dog. And it's like, are dogs notoriously known for working hard? Dogs don't have jobs. Most of the dogs I know kind of just lay around and eat food occasionally, sometimes go on a walk, maybe play fetch. I'm assuming this phrase was made, you know, a while ago. So maybe back in the day, dogs were working hard, but is there a world where dogs work harder than humans? Like, this saying, I was working like a dog, insinuate that you were working harder than you normally would, because that just doesn't really make sense to me. And then the next one is, cats got your tongue. Like, people say that when you're, like, struggling to speak or whatever. And I'm like, why a cat? How would a cat even get your tongue? Like, cats are, like, all the way on the ground. You're up here. Are we saying it's like a frog in your throat situation where, like, a cat's in your throat and he, like, pulls on your tongue? Because obviously, if a cat, you know, has your tongue with his paw or whatever, then it'd be hard to talk. But not impossible, so I don't quite get what they're trying to say there. Maybe they're saying that a cat stole your tongue, but why would it be a cat? Wouldn't it make more sense if it was like a cannibal or something? I don't know. Finally, here's one that might just make sense, and I kind of keep going back and forth and kind of telling myself that, you know what, it does make sense, but it's raining cats and dogs. What they're trying to say here is that it's raining a lot. Like, it's raining so much that it's as if cats and dogs were falling from the sky. But why choose cats and dogs? I really don't understand. But then at the same time, I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, if you chose bigger animals, then that would just be too much. So I don't know. I kind of get it. I think it would probably work better if you're like, it's raining gerbils and hamsters from the sky. Because, like, that's a feasible size for raindrops. And it would be, like, insane. But, like, when I think about cats and dogs falling from the sky, then I'm just like, bro, that's just a street full of carcasses. And that's just, like, I don't like that thought in my brain. So, yeah, I don't like these sayings. I don't understand them. But, yeah, that's it. I'm done with the sayings today. If any of these make sense, let me know in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong. But still subscribe, because, hey, you're here, so you must have enjoyed the video. Or you hated it. Bye.